Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, another scorching hot day. It is in fact bringing record-setting temperatures across the inland Northwest.
Just hours ago, the Washington Department of Natural Resources issued a statewide burn ban that is now in effect. It comes on the heels of red flag warnings all across central Washington.
So a lot to keep track of. We want to bring in meteorologist Tom Sherry right now, tracking the very latest in that forecast. Tom.
Well, we set a record high temperature today, so that's 3 days in a row, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday now with that record high temperature. We're in trouble right here, folks. Let's take this graphic full if we can. There we go. 103 degrees today. The old record was 102, set back in 1975. And everywhere you see shaded in red, dark red and red, that's where we've got the fire weather warning and the excessive heat warning in effect through this evening. Now, we're tracking 20 to 30 mile an hour winds out towards the Columbia Basin. So with this kind of heat and low relative humidity and gusty winds, boy, any kind of a spark could really get running. So we want everyone to be careful. 105 degrees in Ritzville and Moses Lake, 107 in Omak and Lewiston. Temperatures still in the upper 90s in Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint. And we are going to see our temperatures moderate just a bit. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I know this is still hot, but at least it's not over 100 degrees hot. We'll go for 98 tomorrow, 99 on Friday, and 98 again on Saturday.
All right, sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. As we just mentioned, a statewide burn ban now in effect for Washington. It was issued just hours ago.
It bans burning of any kind on DNR managed land. So the new order bans outdoor burning, campfires, as well as the use of charcoal briquettes.
This also prohibits prescribed burns on all forest lands. DNR says the ban is in effect all the way until September 30th.
In Post Falls, a family of 10 displaced now after a devastating house fire.
Triple-digit temperatures complicated the job for firefighters battling the fire. KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy explains.
It took around an hour for firefighters to put out the flames after a home in South Post Falls caught fire early Wednesday morning. The call came in just before 7:30.
We've gotten a pretty good head start in the garage area. Had already moved into the attic or the kitchen space and up through the kitchen into the attic space.
Kootenai County Fire and Rescue credits working smoke detectors with saving the family inside this home.
Came in as that there were maybe 10 people trapped in the house.
A mother and 9 children are safe tonight thanks to those alarms. Chief Chris Way says this fire was difficult, not just because of the spread. The day's high temperatures prompted a bigger response.
We did call a second alarm because of the heat today and the stress on the firefighters. Obviously, it's one of the hottest days of the year. You know, everybody's wearing 75 to 80 pounds of gear when they're fighting a fire.
And made a potentially deadly fire that much more dangerous.
Well, one of the captains told me that on his thermal imaging camera, it was 750 degrees up in the top floor of the house while they were searching.
Luckily, no one was hurt. Investigators are still working to figure out what caught fire, but Chief Way says they have some good ideas already. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Back in Spokane, one man was found dead after an early morning camper van fire in northwest Spokane.
The Spokane Fire Department confirmed with KREM 2 someone was found dead at the scene. However, they did not say if that they were killed in the fire.
Now, crews say it started around 3 a.m. They believe it was started by an electrical failure. We'll make sure to keep tracking this and bring you more details once they are available.
Hey, get out!
Get out!
Get out! Yes, get out of the trailer!
New video tonight of a Spokane County Sheriff's deputy going into a burning home to help evacuate the 2 people inside during a Monday morning fire.
According to the sheriff's office, the deputy saw smoke coming from the home on Bowman Road in Spokane Valley as he was just driving by. When he walked up, he saw flames on the porch and heard voices inside.
The Spokane Valley Fire Department arrived shortly after and put that fire out. No one was hurt, but the home was destroyed. The cause of that fire is still under investigation tonight.
And as high temperatures linger, health experts are encouraging everyone to take steps to avoid heat-related illnesses.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley checked in with our local hospitals and emergency responders today to ask how many heat-related calls they have seen so far this week.
So she's joining us here in the studio now with data that might surprise you.
Yeah, Mark and Whitney, we've reached day 3 of triple-digit temperatures. Now, you might think that means emergency responders are getting flooded with calls relating to heat, but it turns out people are actually taking the appropriate steps to stay cool. Since Monday, the Spokane Fire Department received 7 to 10 heat-related calls. In that same time frame, Kootenai County Fire and Rescue says it's reporting 4 heat-related calls in their service area. Now, we also checked in with our local hospitals. Providence Sacred Heart Medical Center didn't have any exact numbers to share, but said in a statement, the emergency department is seeing a normal volume of patients for an average heat wave. And looking at dates between June 30th and today, Multicare reports only 2 patients impacted by heat exposure. So these rates are pretty low. Still, the Spokane Fire Department told our Brandon T. Jones this morning that today is when crews are expecting to see people show signs of fatigue. Public Information Officer Justin DeRuyter says this happens if you haven't been hydrating properly.
People start getting a little more irritated. They'll start feeling sick. Yeah. You know, so these are the days, like especially people are working outside in this kind of weather. Yeah. This is the day to start watching out for some of these symptoms. It's usually, like I said, just more of that fatigue kind of running out of energy, not thinking so clear.
Now, he adds, when it starts to become difficult to think and move, you should get out of the heat and get hydrated. Heat stroke, though, is even more severe. That's when the body stops regulating its own heat and a person can become unconscious. Now, the key takeaway from health experts and emergency responders this week is stay hydrated. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.